Welcome back to the Ascension Series. Today is October 17th, 2023. And I literally should rename this series called Storytime with Dime because we're going to go into a story today. Um, the energy is super transformative right now. October, like September, October, are massive opportunity for us to be changing our vibration, to be working through what's been limiting us. And it's going to be surfacing a lot, like boom, to the surface, and you're going to be looking at it. And so I'm going to share what I just moved through that I think may have changed how I will navigate the rest of my life, to be honest. So it's a bit of a story. Here we go. Before I start, I have this habit of explaining things to prevent having to over explain them later. I just got my eyebrows done. So they're super chunky and they're super shiny because they've got stuff on them. I know. So sometimes I get these comments on like, your makeup, and I'm like, ugh. So there's that. I'm aware that they look like a hot mess. Let's move on. Okay. So all of me looks like a hot mess, actually. Yes and no. We got a brand new puppy, right? So Roxy, she's 8 weeks old and super busy. I forgot how busy babies and puppies are. And if you're ever considering having a baby, probably get a puppy and make sure that you're ready for it. Because there hasn't been a lot of sleep. And that's ironically what this story is attached to that I'm going to share with you today. So the epiphany that I had this morning was all about the law of correspondence. So there's 12 universal laws, and we sort of move through the knowledge of them. So I teach all of this in the Fully Awaken and Ascend course, which part of me really wants to re-record right now or do like a fourth level because there's so much more that's come to me since recording that a couple of years ago. And it's all my life work in one course. And I have moved through so much since then. And the law of correspondence has hit me very differently today. So I'm going to do some foundational explanation, and then we're going to move through the story about how my whole world has just shifted. And my mind was so blown this morning that I sat in silence, just being like, are you kidding? Like, what? Uh? So the foundation is, and you've heard me say this before, 12 universal laws. They all work together for us, through us. In fact, we are them. We are universal flow. You are not separate from the universe. You are creator energy. You are God and the devil. You are light and dark. You are all of the things. That is what this experience here in this meat suit is. You are always going to be light and love and purity in between lives, in all your lives. It's in you. And this is the one time that you get to be this particular personality, this particular ego, this particular lesson or mastery. And so I don't want you to shame any of your dark or your ego. I want you to embrace it. And I want you to stop putting your power outside of yourself and really own the fact that you are universal flow. You are not separate from the universe. And I hear a lot of people say, when the universe is testing me, or the universe is teaching me, or my ascended guides are giving me this lesson, that's not how it works. And this story that I'm going to share with you is going to hopefully explain that. Hopefully, I can articulate it in a way that it resonates, because sometimes it's so big within the mind that it's hard to put it into words. So, out of the 12 universal laws, the law of correspondence is one of the primary laws that's sort of slapping us around right now. And the law of correspondence means everything is a mirror, everything is a reflection of you. Your world is being reflected to you consistently. Your vibration is always being demonstrated to you and shown to you. And this is how we navigate. So we know that the higher our vibration, or the more expansive, truthfully, that's how it works, the more expansive your vibration, the law of attraction is responding to that. When you are in a low, dense vibration, the law of attraction is responding low, dense energy, like attracts like. When you are in a high vibration or expanded vibration, love, excitement, joy, inner peace, calm, trust, all of those things, the law of attraction responds to that and enhances that experience. So the law of correspondence is the law that says, here's where you're at. Have a look, like pay attention. You are the universal laws. Okay. So you are the law of vibration. You are connected into the law of attraction, manifesting. You're always manifesting, always. You don't have to try. You just have to change your vibration. So, with the law of correspondence, everything is demonstrating you are creating through your experience, through universal law flowing through the light that you are creating the reflection. So it's not something exterior going, here's where you're at. Hi. And I think maybe a little piece of me was still functioning in that way until today. You are creating how the laws move through you. It's so mind blowing. Like, anyway. So the law of correspondence is your vibration being reflected back to you. So if you're seeing 1111, if you're seeing 222, 333, 444, whatever, all those things, that is your energy creating the alignment of that reflection. So when I see numbers like that, I know I'm in alignment. It's just a sign of, oh, that's me creating the evidence, the confirmation that I'm in alignment. When I have my own signs that I use, we've talked about this, so I'll put that aside. Anyway, so there's that piece. Okay. Now we're going to dive into some juicy, intimate stuff here. I'm going to be really vulnerable with you. Let's start with our body, weight, fat on the body. And this is all going to come together in the end, I promise. If you want to know how to lose weight, here's I'm going to share it with you. So, everything that you desire, I shit you not, everything that you desire to receive and experience is the aftermath of happiness, of high vibration. I wish someone would have hammered that into my mind 20 years ago. And I've been gaining evidence through myself and my students of how this works for a really long time. And since getting the retreat property and being here in this beautiful space that I resonate with, this has been a desire of mine, a requirement for me for a very, very long time. I do not enjoy living in the city. I was living in Central America, which was perfect for me. I was on the beach every day. Like, you can't complain, right? And then the lockdown happens and I come back to Canada. I went out east for a little bit, really loved it, but it just didn't feel right. And then I came back to Ontario and I met my now future husband. So my fiance, which I chose to reside in the city close by to him so that we could be close and build the life that we're building. But it was against my grain the whole time. I sacrificed my requirement to be in nature and my requirement to feel the zen in order to be closer and like physically with him so we could have more time together. I made that sacrifice willingly. And now I realize that was not the right thing for me. Hindsight. So here I am submerged in nature daily and I'm thriving. And you guys know that there's been so many comments. Thank you on, I'm glowing or I'm looking beautiful. Like, I love that. Thank you so much. Today, I'm not feeling it though. But, anyways, I haven't even done my hair. Doesn't even matter. I still feel good on the inside. So I've been thriving. And since being here and experiencing this daily, this space, my body is, everything's changing so beautifully. I've lost about 25 pounds without trying. And we're going to talk about how to lose weight in a minute here. My mentors are soaring, the company's soaring. We've been interviewed on so many different boards, and I have a position on a board of directors that's very private, like all of these incredible opportunities. My book is in motion, being finalized right now. Like, everything's just unfolding incredibly, right? And so I've been thriving and my body's happy. And in the happiness, my body is becoming its most vital self. Everything is the aftermath. Like, it's gorgeous. So the happier you are, the more expansive your vibration, the more everything follows. We have four bodies. We have the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual body. The physical body always follows what the mental body is doing. So however the emotional body, how your emotional body is feeling is the aftermath is what creates your physical body. Your emotional body follows the story, the mental body. Your spiritual body is your energetic, flourishing, evolution, awakening process, which brings clarity into the mental body to the emotional body for the physical body to follow. So when your emotional body is taken care of completely, your physical body just follows. Like that's it. It's a no-brainer. Like we overcomplicate it. We diet, we over exercise, we watch our carbs, we eat a lot of protein, we calorie restrict. I'm not doing any of that. I haven't changed a damn thing. My emotional body is just thriving because of what I'm allowing it to experience. And I'm controlling my mental body. So the physical is just following that. Now, here's what I do know about weight loss. I have a huge background as a master personal trainer, weight loss specialist, actually. And I used to train athletes a long time ago. So I know what the world teaches in regards to these things. On an energetic level, the secret that I do know that is relevant for all weight loss is this: your body will protect pain. And I'm not talking physical pain, emotional pain. So if there has been an imprint, a trauma imprint in your adult life, your body will not desire, not for all of us, some of us go the other end where we lose weight, but your body will not let go of the protection at that point in your life. So here's where I'm going to get really vulnerable. Talk about all of the things and even talk about my weight. So this journey with my body I've been all of the extremes. I was usually like a size 0 most of my life, size 2, 4, sometimes as an adult. And then I would get unwell and I would move up. So I remember the first time I hit 150 pounds, I just thought it was mortifying. I would do anything to be 150 pounds right now. Like, really? My ego would. Um, and then, so I fluctuated a lot. And through happiness and through tragic situations. And then 10 years ago, I ended up with some massive disharmony in my body and I had cancer in my womb, which I didn't know 10 years ago. I didn't discover that till just before Mother's Day, so in the spring. And at that same point, I was going through a ridiculous, challenging relationship with a narcissist and his daughter. And I loved his daughter tremendously. However, drama, like shitting out the ass all the time, like diarrhea, drama, like it was just unreal, which created a lot of disharmony in my life. So I'm going to pause that for a second and I'm going to share how I just moved through this. Okay. And it's all going to circle back, I promise. So I just got a puppy. And right now I got to fix these emojis. Ugh. Right now, we don't cohabitate, my partner and I. We're going to be within the next year, but it's not been a forced thing for us. It's not mandatory for us. Like, I work a lot. He's got a teenage daughter. He's busy. I'm busy. We see each other enough and we have a very strong bond. So cohabitating hasn't been essential for us, but we are moving towards that. And so in comes my puppy, Roxy. It's just so cute. So busy and sassy. So cute. And this puppy, with the whole family dynamic, our children. So I have 2 children. He has a daughter. Him, me, my current dog, who's so good. Frankie is such a good boy. And Trevor, my kitten. And now Roxy. It was a busy household. And all of us had a very different approach on guiding Roxy. A very different approach on, because she is not house trained yet. She's still only 8 weeks. So we're all throwing our different approaches out there. And it triggered me. It triggered me into, this is my home that I'm building. This isn't your home yet. This isn't your dog. Like, this is my puppy. this our family, like we're building our, but my ego went into this isn't fair. Like this is a decision I've made for me, this home, this the retreat center, the puppy, my current pets, these are all things that I chose for me. But when I chose Roxy, I made a decision on a breed that was supportive for our entire family. Otherwise, I would have had another small dog. Like I love small dogs. So I made the decision to, I wanted her. I made the decision to get something that was more supportive for our family dynamic, the breed. So in she comes. We're all having a very different approach, which is creating a little bit of disharmony and a little bit of frustration between us all. So that kind of catapulted me into a lot of fear surfacing on I don't know if I want to cohabitate, if this is how it's going to be. We live very differently, and this isn't a judgment thing, but there's going to be a lot of compromises on both of our ends to merge our families together. Um, we just live very differently, and our approach with the animals is very different. And one's not right, one's not wrong. It's not about that, but it was triggering me, and it was creating a lot of deep conversation around we're not seeing eye to eye and we're not communicating through this very well. And then that led into deeper communication on, what's going on. And I always try to pause and look at what part of this is a me thing. What part of this is my vibration? Because we know your vibration creates that reflection, right? So this is where it gets so fucking good. So we have talked this thing out so many times and have beautifully found other triggers within ourselves. And it's brought a lot of awareness on how we're functioning as a couple, which is beautiful. All incredible, incredible conversation and a deepening of our bond and the way we communicate. And then this morning, I'm sitting there and I have this holy fuck moment. So, over the last little while, I've shared with you that I've lost about 25 pounds. So, and it's been easy. It's like a pound and a half a week just coming off on its own. I'm into like a size medium for the first time in a decade. This is really exciting for me. And it's weight loss isn't a goal for me. It hasn't been for over 10 years. My goal is to allow my body to be its highest vitality. I want my body to feel loved, honored, strong. I want my body to shine and do whatever it desires to do because it's only doing what it thinks it needs to take care of me and protect me. So I really look at my body as a guide, as a protector, my physical body, and I honor it. And if it wants to be 200 pounds or 160 pounds or somewhere in between, 100% I'm supporting that. I feed it well. I nourish it well. I love it. I hydrate it. I honor it. I talk to it, all those things. So I let it be. I don't care what society says we should be. You be what you want to be because you're taking care of me. And I honor that. So as I've been flourishing and my vibration's been shifting with the peace that I get to experience every day being here, well, there's been weight loss. I'm like, oh, I'm so proud of you. Like, that's beautiful. But what I know is every 10 pounds or so, give or take a few, your body will uncover something that it's been protecting. Your body doesn't want to carry extra weight. It never wants to carry extra weight. It wants to protect you. And so if there's trauma, your body will hold on to weight to protect the feeling of that trauma surfacing. So I'm at a weight right now where rewind back to the challenging relationship I was in a decade ago, right before I found out I had cancer. So in that timeline, I went through a massive shift, let me tell you. So I was living in my dream home, very similar to this, but on the lake. And I was dating this narcissist, just a very challenging individual. And I was demonstrating being a narcissist alongside him because there's so much conflict and I was so pissed off. But I found my voice. Super cool. That's a different story. And his daughter, there was just constant excessive neediness, a very broken, lost soul. And my daughter was there, and my son was wanting to move in. And going through the conversation of developing, like, how are we going to navigate this? Him and his daughter took up so much of my time. There was like exaggerated self-victimization and dramatization of everything, to the point where me unknowingly, what I was trying to give to them to create peace so that I could go back to the peace of my family. And my daughter's needs got pushed aside. I was a shitty mom then. That was a really bad year. So my daughter's needs, it's agreeing. My daughter's needs got pushed aside. My son's needs got pushed aside. And I was pouring into trying to resolve this dramatic, explosive situation daily, multiple times a day. And I ended up starting to gain weight. I didn't know I had cancer. That was part of the weight gain, but I started to gain weight. And that's when he started telling me I was not attractive anymore. I went from a size like 3, maybe size 2, maybe when we were dating in the beginning. And then over the course of just a year and a half, I gained, I went up to about a size 12. So it's a significant weight gain. And he started critiquing my body and telling me that I was unattractive and that I was fat and that I couldn't cut my hair and like narcissistic shit, right? But the pain point of the trauma is what I discovered today. So my childhood had a lot of drama and a lot of self-victimization, and some of my caregivers were super extra, and it was hard to endure. And then I get into this relationship where he brings in his daughter, I bring in Roxy, and trauma. Nobody could agree. Nobody's needs were being met. I was in panic mode trying to fix everything. And so this weekend, bringing Roxy in has done the same thing to me unknowingly. It was like, oh, this is triggering for me everything that I went through back then. So, how does that tie into the law of correspondence? So, my weight has been fluctuating. It's plateaued, and I am in thriving mode, totally in thriving mode. And all of a sudden I've gotten down to a weight where I'm a size medium now, which I haven't been in 10 years. Um, I knew all of a sudden my body plateaued. It just stopped. And I was like, it wouldn't stop if it wasn't protecting me from something. So what are you protecting me from? But I hadn't really stopped to think about it. I was like, oh, note to self, take 5 minutes to process, right? So here I am fluctuating for about a week, just right at that barrier where I was 10 years ago. And when all this trauma went down. So I'm not paying attention. This is trying to surface. And all your bodies work together to reflect to you. You are the universe. You create your reality. You do not have to exist in 3D at all. I don't. I have moments of it when people bring it to me, but I don't exist there at all. I'm very liberated and free from that on this end. So I know that we create a reality. Everything around us is you being reflected back to you. Everything. So this morning, I go and I sit and I have a cup of coffee outside, and I leave Roxy inside with Frankie and Trevor. And I'm like, Mama needs a minute. So as I'm sitting there, 3 things happen. I walk outside and there is over 100 blackbirds in the forest. 100. So much so that it actually just sounded like a waterfall. It was the most intense thing I've ever seen in my life. And I walk out and they're all in the woods. And I'm like, whoa. So I sit down with my coffee and then I'm like, oh, I got to take a little video of this. I'll go put it on Instagram so you can see it. And I'm like, what is going on? And then I get distracted and I'm like, no, 5 minutes, no distractions. There is a gap where all of your wisdom exists between your breath. So I want you to take a breath in. Don't hold it. Take a breath out. The gap in transition between inhale, exhale, exhale, inhale, the gap. No thought exists there. Your wisdom, your truth, what you are creating exists there. And so this morning, I just brought awareness to the gap. So I'm acknowledging the birds. I'm not talking in my mind about it. I'm just observing. and I'm paying attention to the gap, and I'm expanding the awareness of the gap between my breath. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. I looked up the birds. I was like, I've created this moment. So I have created this reality. The birds are there because I created this moment. I am universal flow. What does this represent? So I look it up, and the birds represent the particular situation I was having represents massive transformation, spiritual expansion, clarity, ease, moving into beauty. And I was like, where's the gap? Go back to the gap. So I start breathing and I go into my gap. Why have I created this? What's my vibration here? And then all of a sudden a song starts playing in my head. Listen to the hints. There's a song on the new 30 Seconds to Mars album. Oh God, I love it. And every time I drive into town, I listen to it and I partake in the lyrics with my 30-year-old self, the version that I'm talking about right now, the one that was going through all that shit and drama. She's my primary focus right now. And so she's always in the seat. I talk to her. I went for a drive yesterday. I was cranky because I hadn't finished processing what I'm sharing right now. And so I didn't want to hear the song. I didn't want to do it. I wasn't willing. I was cranky. I was willing to be cranky. And I was venting it out and like, right? Like moving it through me, my frustrations with a couple of different things. And so I'm driving and the song comes on and I'm like, nope. So I skipped the song and I skipped like 3 times and it goes to another song. And then all of a sudden it defaults and it goes back to that song and it's not on repeat. It's not clicked on repeat, nothing. And I'm like, fuck. And then defaults and it goes back to that song to the point where I turn off the radio. And then I'm sitting out there this morning with the birds. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm stuck at this weight. I've plateaued. What does that mean? What is my body protecting me of? When was the last time I was this weight? Oh, bam. My 30-year-old self, I was reflecting. The radio was doing that. I was doing that. Energetically, I was creating that. I was creating the pay attention to what wants to be healed so you can ascend more, so you can awaken more, so you can evolve more, so you can desire more, receive more. I created that. The radio didn't do it. My vibration did it. My body not letting go, not breaking past this little barrier that I'm at. My body's doing that because of my vibration. It's showing me, pay attention. Look, look, look. The law of correspondence. It's not that the law is my reflection. I am my own reflection through everything that I perceive. I am the universe. You are the universe. You are creating the repetitive numbers. You are creating the repetitive signs. You are creating it. So I do not want you to be like, oh, look, the universe is giving this to me. You're creating your perception, your reality. You're creating your reality. Always. The law of correspondence just means you're going to reflect yourself through everything. So I'm paying attention to the gap outside. And it's been there for days. I got Roxy on Thursday. By Friday, I was feeling triggered. Saturday, I moved through the weekend busy. Monday, the radio's reflecting to me. My body started reflecting to me Friday. My body was like, oh, hey, we're going to pause for a minute. We're actually going to gain 2 pounds and show you we're fluctuating. Pay attention. If I would have stopped then to pay attention to the gap to let the wisdom move through me, I would have got it right then and there. But I didn't give myself the space. I continued to bulldoze through my life. And then I created the radio doing that, the reflection of my vibration. Hey, this is what you want to work on. You're always reflecting your opportunity for evolution, your opportunity for awakening, your opportunity for growth. The awakening process is not hard unless you make it hard. It can be super fucking hard because we get all up in our egos, but it doesn't have to be. And so my body demonstrates it. I don't pay attention. I then have it reflected to me through the radio, through that song, because that's the version of me that I'm working on right now and loving right now. Didn't pay attention. And then I walk outside and the disharmony is what triggered me with like our direction towards Roxy. Not that it was even a big deal. It really was nothing except for we take a totally different approach. But I was like, triggered that pain that wanted to be healed. You will always have what's holding you back present itself to you. It's up to you to see it and move through it and heal it. And so I felt it come up, that 10-year ago situation where a man and his daughter dominated my mental health. I let them and dominated my family dynamic and destroyed my emotional body and my mental body hardcore. That's what wanted to be healed. And this morning, that was surfacing for a few days. The song on the radio, my body not wanting to go past this little weight barrier, it was showing me. The birds, I created that moment. And so it's incredible when we pause to pay attention. So I want you to give yourself permission to take 5 minutes a day or 10 minutes. You don't have to meditate. You don't have to do any of those things. There's wisdom in here. It's a gorgeous process when you meditate because you're going to get way more shit. But your body will always demonstrate what's going on because it's the emotional body that creates the vibration. There's 5 steps to creating your reality. Your belief structure creates an emotion. That emotion is your frequency. That becomes the lens, the perception of your reality. And that becomes the outcome, how you experience your reality. So your emotional body is so damn important. So damn important. It's going to show you, hey, if we fix this, we can move to the next level. Hey, if we heal this, transform this, the universal law of perpetual transmutation. Nothing can stay the same unless you hold on to it. Nothing stays the same ever. It just expands, evolves, gets better, unless you hold on to that limiting belief that creates the emotion, that creates the frequency, that creates the perception and the outcome. So the law of perpetual transmutation is like, let's move through things. The law of correspondence is here's what we need to move through right now. Here's the requirement for the next level. The law of vibration is have a look at what you're receiving because that's what the law of attraction is doing. So the biggest out of this long-winded story, the biggest holy fuck moment I had today was I literally am unstoppable. If I can create the radio doing that, if I can create over 100 blackbirds demonstrating themselves to me, if I can create a puppy triggering off a family dynamic situation that needs to be healed from 10 years ago so that I can evolve, I can create anything. Anything. And all it takes, get this, all it takes is 5 minutes being aware of the gap and everything will flow through you. That's it, 5 minutes. That's literally it. I promise. I've been doing this a really long time and I'm getting better and better and better at it all the time. And I know I sound a little bit braggy when I say I'm fucking living my highest timeline, but I really am. Like my life is so fulfilling and beautiful. Blows my mind. I never thought I could be where I am right now. I was a very, very broken little girl, human, young adult, traumatized, hardcore, like small. Oh my God. Oh, doing it the hard way. And if I can get here, I know you can. And you can do it a lot easier than I did because I did it the hard way. But all it takes is for you to understand you are the universe. Stop putting your power outside of yourself. Makes me a little cringy when I see posts that are like, oh, the universe will provide all in divine timing. I stopped doing that 5 years ago. And the moment I stopped doing that, I became the creator of my experience. Not that it was like an overnight switch, but it has gotten better and better and better and better every single damn month of my life. So don't put your power outside of yourself. You are universal flow. You are the universe. There is no the universe. There is no the God. There is no the source. It just is. It's the isness that is everything and nothing. It's the isness. You are the isness. You are all of it. And so stop putting your power outside of yourself and dedicate yourself to 5 minutes a day of just Bring your awareness to the gap between your breath. Don't hold your breath. Don't expand the gap. Expand your awareness of the gap, because that's where no thought exists. And that's where your wisdom is. That's where your next level, your next rung on the ladder, that's where it exists. And then as you're seeing the repetitive, beautiful signs, the what you guys call angel numbers, they're not angel numbers, it's fucking science. But anyway, as you see all of this, as you see yourself reflected, you created that reflection. The world is a mirror. Your reality is simply a mirror. You hear people talk about the matrix. That's what the matrix is. It's just a mirror. That's all it is. You want to hack the code? Look in the mirror. Everything is a reflection of you. How you perceive it, how you judge it, how you love it is exactly what you are. It's 100% what you are. So your reflection is everywhere. That's the whole world is just one big mirror. And you're looking at yourself 100% of the time. Always. So if you don't like what you see, pay attention to the gap. Bring awareness to the gap. Discover what it is that's holding it back. If you like what you see, love your damn self. Thank you. I love you. So there's my story. I am attempting to do a live on Thursday. If my eyebrows are still shit, I'm not going to. Only because the comments, you guys, the comments. Oh my God, the comments. And I don't want to low my vibration, and I don't want to sit there and have to look and read comments on like your eyebrows. I know it sounds so stupid. I don't care what anybody thinks. I care about how much I get inundated with unnecessary shit. And one of my rules is don't put yourself into places, people, things, situations that are going to inundate you with shit you don't want to experience. It's not my desire. So my eyebrows are doing better. I'm going to do a live on Thursday. You'll catch it on YouTube and Facebook, and if I can get the link to work, on Instagram. So one of those platforms. And so pay attention to that. And if they are still in their crustacean phase, I'm going to skip it and I'll do it next week so that I don't have to deal with that. It's bad enough getting the come back to Jesus, or actually a few messages when I did the dragon one of people telling me to go unlife myself. I was like, because I believe in dragons. Like, okay. So there's some interesting things in this world. And, I say everything is a reflection of you, but the majority of thought creates, this is in the quantum physics piece. I teach this in the Fully Awakened and Ascend. Free will is actually free thought. So how I choose to perceive it is my reflection. So sometimes you're going to get inundated with 3D shit because there's a lot of 3D shit. How I choose to perceive it is my reflection. And the majority of thought creates the outcome. So whatever thought I'm putting towards something will always be the outcome. And I don't enjoy low vibe. I don't want that in my vortex. I have too much responsibility for being the best version of myself for my students. So sometimes I avoid doing those things so that I don't have to let my ego jump into, see, you should have like wore a hat and covered them. And that way you wouldn't have to deal with these comments. Like, I know it's so silly. Anyways, there's that. I went on a necessary tangent and I'm still talking. So I'm going to stop talking. I love you guys. Keep shining. Keep believing in yourself. Let me know. Are you going to do your 5 minutes of paying attention to the gap? And what are you moving through? We're all moving through something in October. October is healing. The vibration that's holding you back is massive, propelling you forward. And then November is going to be a totally different vibe. So the monthly forecast will be out really soon for that. All right, for real. I'm done talking this time. I will catch you guys next week. Have the most fulfilling week and enjoy your 5 minutes of reflection. All right, bye.